I want to tell you a quick story about an epic fail from last week. So many of you know that my company has cracked the code in providing homeownership to low income families. And the first step in doing that is finding houses. And so I look at 500 to 700 houses a year. And last month, I walked through this house and I was just so excited because I was looking at the asking price of the house, and then I was looking at the condition of the house, and I just smiled ear to ear thinking, this is awesome. The house is beautiful. It was kind of in move-in ready. I'm used to going into houses that are just deplorable. I mean, nasty. And this particular house was beautiful. The paint on the walls was nice. The outside was pretty. The roof was nice. It was real clean lines, just gorgeous. And the kitchen was nice. The bathroom was nice. The AC was good. I'm thinking, this is so cool. So I get on my phone and start texting the office. I'm like, buy. This is awesome. So we make the offer. The next morning, the seller accepts the offer. And I'm like, yes, this is so good. Because it's like house number 65 for the year. Like, killing it. Awesome. And so this is where the story takes a shift in a way. I get a call from my construction manager about 5 o'clock. I'm already home. And he says, hey, you know that house we just closed on? I said, yeah. He said, well, your notes say that the house doesn't need any work, and this house needs a lot of work. Damn it. And I'm thinking, well, dude, what do you mean? He's like, well, there's graffiti everywhere. And I said, what? He said, yeah. I said, well, what about the flooring? He goes, the carpet's a mess. It's totally ripped out, and it stinks. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I guess somebody broke in between the time that I looked at it and the time that we bought it. Somebody vandalized the house. He goes, oh yeah. Like the guys that vandalized this house meant business. I mean, there's like Satan signs and stuff. And I'm going, oh no, this is not good. So anyway, next morning, I go over there. And I pull up to the house, and I don't really recognize the house, which isn't too uncommon because I walk through hundreds of houses, so it's just like, I wasn't surprised that I didn't recognize the house. But I got out of the car and I walked in the house, and my heart sank, totally sank. My worst nightmare. I looked around and just couldn't believe my eyes. Then I ran out the front door into the front yard. And I looked down the street. And 2 doors down, there's a real estate sign. In front of a house that's in move-in condition with great lines, perfect paint, beautiful roof. I bought the wrong freaking house. Gah! How could you be so... Failure usually doesn't affect me that much over a period of time. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't mind failure. I don't mind the consequences of doing stupid stuff. But the part that I ignored, the part that I tend to ignore, is the immediate overwhelm that I feel when I realize that I've failed. This voice in my head just says, you are an idiot, right? And there's a little bit of shame, there's lots of embarrassment that goes on inside of me. And what that actually does is it shortens my fuse. And so I found this information out. And right when I got home from work, I was really flooded, really overwhelmed by what I had done. And my family had no idea. They didn't know what was going on inside of my heart and mind and what I was feeling. And so there was a little confrontation, little spat here and there, and I just twisted off. There was completely a mismatch in the confrontation and my response. And the mismatch was, unbeknownst to my family, they had no idea what was going on inside of me. And I flipped out, completely flipped out, which is totally unfair to them. And so, excuse me, hairball. Anyway, so I guess the point is that I think if I rewound and really thought about when something really crappy happens, that I really kind of let everybody know real quick. Keep short accounts. And that's, I think, if Captain Hindsight was going to fly in and whisper into my ear at that moment, it would have said something like, hey guys, I think I had a really crappy day at work today. In fact, I don't have any space for any shenanigans. I don't even have any space for fun. I'm going to be a little grumpy tonight. Would have set the stage and they would have understood. Because my family is for me. They're on my side. And so I think that's the main lesson that I learned. I don't really mind the failure of spending $75,000 on the wrong damn house. It's so stupid. God. It's embarrassing to tell you. I did it. I actually did it. But that's not the part that bugs me. The most impactful part is just keeping short accounts with the people that I love, with my family, with my wife and my kids. And that's one spot that I blew it, but I learned from it. So I hope you enjoyed the story and the lesson at my expense. Hope you have a blessed day.